Okay, hi everyone, I'm Wedaa from Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York, and I'm talking about LongTail. Couple notes. The presentations are online, the URL is down at the bottom. Some standard disclaimers first. First off, the local Linux users group, Mid-Hudson Valley Linux users group has a saying. It takes a certain type of personality disorder to do this. I have to agree with it. If I was an OCD, I would not have done this. Standard disclaimer, facts are facts, opinions are mine, and not necessarily out of Marist College. So let me get started here. So LongTails and both an SSH Honeypot and a set of programs to analyze and characterize the attacking IP addresses. And I can do this and put the attacking IP addresses into botnets. Here's the standard agenda slide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Introduction. So I've been doing this continuously since 1987. I've done security work intermittently in different companies, including, mainly in 1996 at Philips Semiconductors. These days I'm a system administrator at Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York. And there's my beautiful campus. Marist is an awesome place to work for. Okay, Marist College, a little bit on the college to give some background of why I got hooked into this. We're in Poughkeepsie, New York, along the St. Hudson River. We've been around since 1905, 6,500 grads and undergrads. Princeton, we realize this, 50 best schools to launch careers. And if you've ever heard of Marist College before, because you watch CNN or MSNBC and you see the results of the Marist poll. We're not MIT, we're not Stanford, we're not Los Alamos, we're not Bank of America, we're a small private college. Why did I start writing this? Because at Marist, I'm seeing hundreds of hits a day coming through our IPs, thousands of hits per day trying to beat on SSH to our unprotected sites. And the attacks predominantly came from China, Hong Kong, and history. But I was also saying a bunch of distributed attacks. 3 attacks from here, 6 attacks from here, 3 attacks from here, one after the other. And I was curious, can I show that these are all coming from the same botnet, even though it's different IP addresses? The analysis tools didn't exist to do this level of work, so I wanted to probably write my own. Why name it LongTail? Well, LongTail is a statistical term for a distribution. It starts off large on the left, goes out to a long tail on the right. I was seeing a lot of distributions for account names and passwords. Also, Marist College mascot is the red fox, known for its long tail. Okay, also, if anyone has questions, I've got stickers to hand out to people who ask questions. Please ask questions. Okay, who else has looked at this? Well, on this level of analysis, I could only find one guy, James Owens, who did it back in 2008. He did his master's thesis on this. And in 2008, he had 13 weeks for collecting data to read Honeypots. And he was only subjected to 399 separate attacks over 39 honeypots. He only had 151,000 login attempts from only 349 IP addresses. Man, I wish it was 2008 again. So, SSH and brute force attacks. Now, I know we all know what SSH is, but I wanted to point out that SSH is 20 years old now. OpenSSH is 16 years old. I was really amazed when I found out how old OpenSSH is. Honestly, it makes me feel a little old. Okay, brute force attacks. It's an exhaustive key search. Password after password after password. Brute force attacks are basically free to the bad guys. They own some server, they're not paying the cloud provider or the company's bandwidth. They are free attacks. Lots of different kinds of brute force attacks, continuous, slow, distributed, and really targeted where it's a small number of accounts and passwords tried. They have a clue what they want, and that's what they're going to try and get. They won't go 100,000 times against root. They know you're running an HP system, so they go after HP default accounts. Okay, where are these passwords coming from? Some of them are from the bad password lists that we all see online. Hopefully, we've incorporated those into our password change policies. Spell check dictionaries of different languages. Special characters added. Turning it into leet speak, because we all know that password with a 0 is really secure. Random characters. And one thing I found was that these guys are, in fact, doing password scraping off of Google and Bing. They're searching for words and splitting those into passwords to try, and they're doing searches for account name and password. And then they scrape the Google pages, go account, foobar, password, XYZ, and they feed that into their dictionary. Don't put passwords on the web, they will find it. Okay, LongTail Honeypot. This is a quick discussion about the Honeypot I wrote for this project. Okay, there's a bunch of existing honeypots. We've all seen them. Some of them are old, some of them are new. Kippo hasn't been updated a little bit, but he's been forked to Cowrie. Now, Michael is pretty responsive about responding to and fixing fingerprint attacks against Cowrie. So I didn't like any of these because I wanted something that they would go, oh, it's a honeypot, I'm just going to give it a try. Kippo, for instance, if you bother to check, you can send it telnet to the SSH port, carriage return, carriage return, and that's when it will spit back the message. You telnet to a real SSH, you go carriage return, and it spits out a message. So I didn't want something that the bad guys could fingerprint, and I wanted something that I was going to get good hits on. Honeypot design requirements, nobody can log in, that it be as immune to fingerprinting as possible. I want the best data possible for this. It's got to be able to log to a remote server for consolidation, and then it logs the IP addresses, name, password, time, client software use. It's got to be easier, trivial to configure and install, and then it be as portable as possible across as many different Linux distributions as possible. Marist College was nice enough to buy me a Raspberry Pi and a Beagle mode, so I know it compiles on a Raspberry Pi and a Beagle mode. What I wound up doing was taking OpenSSH 6.7, and the source code was edited to always fail password. And the source code was edited to log all the information that I needed. Other uses of honeypots besides security analysis. One of the things we do at Marist is we're using LongTail to analyze product effectiveness. So it's kind of nice to be able to see, you know, we're trying this product, how well does it work? We're trying that product, how well does it work? Our IPS lets stuff sneak through, but now we can prove it. Most we've gotten on one of our protected honeypots behind the IPS was 3,500 attacks in one day. We're investigating that, obviously. Another thing, Marist College is working with a company called BlackRidge Technology that's making a gateway box. The gateway box is where we absolutely, positively have to protect a piece of equipment. Things like SCADA systems for sewage pumping or electrical systems. I assume it could work against 5,000 centrifuges underground in the desert in some foreign country. And their stuff we're absolutely free. We absolutely positively have to protect your stuff. Their box lets nothing through. We've run tests on it, and it's behind our IPS, so it gets some hits anyways, but nothing gets through. They're also stickers. If you have questions, you get a free sticker. It's BlackRidge. Fingerprinting. Okay, fingerprinting is a method of contacting a server and determining its fingerprint. Fingerprint can show it's a live system, or it's a known honeypot. And if it's a honeypot, the really good black hats go, it's a honeypot, I'm moving on. China, for instance, most of the Chinese attacks do not care if it's a honeypot, they will bang against Hippo and calories with the cats on. Fingerprint is done by sending character strings and then character response. Character response to Hippo. The LongTail honeypot, since it's open SSH 6.7 patch level 1, you try and take a fingerprint of it, that's what comes back. Any fingerprint that's taken is going to show, in my case, it's compiled on relic setups based on the handshake methods that are default to relic setups. It looks real to bad guys because it is real. Okay, level 0, 1, and 2. Okay, as part of this project, since I'm working at Marist College, there's an academic side to all of this. So I'm proposing a new level of Honeypot, a new way of comparing honeypot analysis tools. And I'm calling it levels. By using the different levels of analysis, we can compare the different tools. Right now, LongTail is the only one that does all 5 levels of analysis. Level 0, because I'm a geek and I always start counting at 0, where are the attacks coming from? Anybody with a server exposed to the internet can trace down the IPs coming in. You got better logging turned on, you're level 1, what accounts are they trying to hit? Level 2, and this is where it takes a honeypot to do, this is what passwords are being tried, and what account password pairs are prevalent. Level 3 is what attack patterns are there. And level 4 is what botnets are out there. Alright, let's look at the live site. Really quickly. This is obviously not the live site. I do not trust the demo gods to give me an internet connection live on a podium. Yes, question?
Obviously you're a Unix administrator. I don't know if you're the only person working on this project. I'm wondering if there are any plans to make use of Windows for Windows OS in the future.
Hold on, let me look. Kid is not here. Okay. There was a kid who wrote an RDP honeypot that works. He presented yesterday morning. So the code is configurable to do RDP, telnet, rlogin. And as soon as I get honeypots for each of those, I will be incorporating telnet, rlogin, RDP into the stats. And I am not a ninja with throwing stars. Okay. As of September 14th, I had 28 million login accounts. I started off with 1 honeypot in January. In March, I got permission to run a second honeypot at Marist College. In April, I got 2 other institutions in the Hudson Valley that honeypots for me. I've got in my honeypot at home. That was 5 up till April. Right now, as of this date, I've got 11 honeypots running. And a 28 minute, yes, question.
When you set this up, did you just put a public IPs out, or did you populate the DNS?
The honeypot I had at home was running off of Verizon BIOS. It was just an IP address sitting out there. The Marist Honeypot has a live DNS entry for it, but it's not indexed by Google. It doesn't have anything on it except SSH. They found it within a matter of days and started beating the heck out of it.
Any difference between the two that you can tell?
Yes, great question. I've got a slide coming up for that. Here comes another ninja throwing stars. Somebody hack to him. One thing I'm going to point out here is I was breaking out a group called SSH Psycho. Who's heard of SSH Psycho? Going, gone. Okay. Back in March and April, level 3, backroad provider in Cisco said enough's enough. This is a group we're calling SSH Psycho. They're beating everybody up. And level 3 said, we're stopping, we're going to stop routing their IP address. Because they're such horrible people beating up on SSH. At that point, I had LongTail running. This was March, April, and I was able to show my management that the group known as SSH Psycho, based on their attack patterns, had picked up their toys and gone to a different playground, and were continuing their attacks from a different playground. Exact same attack patterns. Those people, since level 3 called them SSH Psycho, I'm calling them friends of SSH Psycho. Just in the past month, they have gone ballistic, and I'm calling the new ballistic group SSH Psycho 2. It's really the same people, but it's coming from different IP addresses. I give level 3 their name through the first 4. This is through the second 4, and they have been beating us up 15 million times in the last 30 to 45 days. That's more than half the total attempts I've logged so far. Quickly here, 821,000 passwords tried, 15,000 accounts tried, 21,000 different IPs attacked by honeypots. Basically, if you got root open to the world, somebody will own you. Here's a 3-day graph of attacks. Almost 400,000 attacks on 825. If anyone looks at the live site today, interestingly enough, Friday there was this huge dip. I assume it's because some certain foreign head of state was visiting Washington going, we're not going to attack you. Did I prove that? No, but the numbers dropped. Here's some root passwords. The Chinese like Wedaa, and another one called Tianima. I assume that's their, if we get it on this password, we already own the box, let's move on. It's always among the first passwords they try. Here's a list of admin passwords. Standard admin, the ubiquity router, task, default. Change your default passwords. Yes, question.
Do you see any inputs on the passwords you see if they're...
Say again?
Do you take any of the inputs on the passwords that you see external and see if you see any of those used internal?
Am I taking passwords trying to see if they're used internally?
Passwords you see from externals.
Right.
Do you want to look for any of those on the internals?
Not explicitly, no. But you get a BlackRidge sticker. You just want to get it back. Okay, so you just got Okay. One thing my tool does is I'm able to chart the top 20 passwords through time. This is interesting. Right along here, you can see the Chinese, the attackers coming from China and Hong Kong, not necessarily out of China, changed their initial passwords that they were trying to use. It went from, right now, it's Wedaa, for a while, it was root. The attacks are still coming from the same bad actors in China, from Chinese and Hong Kong IP addresses. And password activity, username activity, IP address activity. Level 0, 1, and 2, we see them all. Let me go back to my deck. Oh yeah, on the live site, which I can't get to now because I refuse to trust the Wi-Fi here, there's a map view. Everyone likes the map view. Management loves the map view. When this map was taken, I had 26 million attacks from China, and everyone else was in the blue, which is the 1 to 10 range. Question? The data, this is BlackRidge sticker to the man in the back. Yes, the data is mostly available online at the website. LongTail.it.marist.edu. If you put in LongTail SSH into Google, you will get to me. Some of the data is protected. I don't give out the attack patterns, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. I'm not giving out the full lists of usernames and passwords tried.
That's how is that available person here?
Okay. Everyone here is a security professional, right? Everybody here can send me an email from their educational site or their company and say, I saw your talk, I like the data. I will make sure it's available. My main concern is I don't want the black hats, bad guys, to get the goal, which is the attack patterns. I'm going to hurry up and get to the attack patterns because that's the special stuff. Question?
Have you set up anything where you allow everything from the outside to log in with Wedaa to see if you want to get it?
I can't do that.
Okay.
That would be unauthorized access to the system not under Marist's control. I get a lot of trouble for that.
Well,
Okay.
if you said you had a right, you tried it at home.
I just cannot risk it. I love my job at Marist way too much. It's not stopping anybody else. The data, the IP addresses that it's coming from, the IP addresses are 100% public. Somebody wants to log in and try root and fail. I'd love to know what you get. I can't do it. It's policy, it's okay. I get a lot of good things from Marist. They bought the Raspberry Pi and people voted for me. Marist is a great place to work. We're hiring, by the way. Question?
In relation to his question, do you know if there were any information on intellectual property they were trying to see from Marist College?
I don't think they're trying to get intellectual. The SSH attacks, very narrow focus here, the SSH attacks. I don't think they're really trying to break in to get IP from us. I think they're trying to get servers. There is a group of people that I am concerned about. I'm going to hurry and get to that slide. No. Attack patterns. This is what I'm doing that none of the other tools are doing. An attack pattern is a list of accounts and passwords from a single IP against a single IP, where each attempt to log in with 180 seconds of the last attempt. That's a magic number. I can't go in. That's a 2-hour discussion why that's a magic number. Then I sorted my account and password without uniquing to counter timing variations. So an attack pattern, this is a very small attack pattern. The account is root, that's the password they tried. So I'm taking the data and then I'm splitting it out into attack patterns. So far, the largest attack pattern is 92,464 login accounts. These guys are beating up the box for days continuously. Median attack pattern is 81 entries. Out of 48,000 attack patterns recorded, 13,000 of them repeated. So these guys, they send out their dictionary to their botnet, and off they go. So I'm moving the IPs into botnets. What I'm doing is I'm taking that attack pattern, doing an MD5 checksum of it, and then I'm looking for other IP addresses that use that same MD5 checksum. I could have done diffs against a bazillion files, that would have taken forever. So the magic here was doing the MD5 checksum once for each file, and then looking for the exact same MD5s. Here. So here's a sample, just to show you how I'm grouping them together. Random, I'll get, my mouse shut up? Yes. We're going to use 2-digit checksums, so it's easy to understand. Checksum, IP address, number of lines, botnet name. First, I get rid of the small attack patterns. Down at the bottom, you'll see attack patterns of 1 try and 3 tries. They're out the door. Too many people try root. So in this image, they're gone. Next step is to sort it by checksum. And the top 3 entries, checksum AZ. Next 4 entries are DZ. Those are obviously part of the same botnet as far as I'm concerned. So I give them names. Botnet 1 and botnet 2. So at this point, I've found 2 botnets. They're using the exact same attack patterns. Then I look to see if there are different botnets with the same IP addresses in common. In my lovely example here, I have address 0 in both botnet 1 and botnet 2. There's now a commonality. And now I combine them, and they're all part of botnet 1. They're all, as far as I can tell, provably part of the same CNC structure. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes? There's not a question in the back. This is just a 2-digit sample checksum. I'm using MD5 sum to checksum my files. So the real checksum is very long. It's not likely to have any collisions.
So by files, you mean the information that's stored in your logs?
Files in the logs gets taken to files of attack patterns. Question?
Regards to the attack patterns, notice any conversion patterns regarding what the attackers are attacking, either just comparison or from other organizations?
Right now, I have a limited set of Honeypots educational websites and clouds. Right? Get your credit card and log in and go give me 5 servers for a month. I have not yet seen, I don't have enough data or enough time to tell if there are significant actors targeting. Question in the back?
Yeah, hold sticker.
Okay.
When you identify the attacking source IPs, do you take any action to protect the rest of Marist's infrastructure from attacks with those same IPs? And if not, why not?
So the question was, once I find a bad IP address, am I using that to protect Marist? Short answer is no, because the IPS in the firewall protects most of Marist. We have an IPS in place that instead of 100,000 attacks, we get, actually the average is probably 5 a day, to the honeypot I have behind the IPS.
So the short answer is you don't allow it down as a secret.
Right.
Okay.
And then step 6 is I repeat steps 4 and 5 until botnet has been combined, and I can't combine it anymore. Now, right now, I've got 127 botnets that I've identified. Some of these are botnet fragments. There's one actor out there who's got over 3,000 SSH attacking, over 3,000 folks doing SSH force attacks. I have a lot of botnets. There's other botnet fragments. I strongly suspect they're part of the same big botnet, but I haven't had an attack counter identical yet. But as a general rule, they tend to congregate over time with an update in honeypots. Another thing about the botnets are standing to attack the same accounts. They're all using, for the most part, the same client software between the attacking IP addresses. They use the same styles of passwords. Styles is different between a botnet in France, a botnet in China, a botnet in Russia. And botnets seem to be geographically similar. I assume if you're used to breaking into servers on providers in the US, that's what you're comfortable with. If you're going after routers in a certain country, there are differences in routers provided to home users in different countries, and once you get used to attacking this router, it's mainly in India, you keep attacking it. I've got two separate programs, one that goes and runs daily to add attack patterns to the botnets, and another program I run once a month to identify new botnets from the data I've accumulated in that month. Botnets, as far as I can tell with my honeypots, they don't have strong characteristics of time of day or day of week. These guys are doing a fire and forget, and they let their bots run for days. So I'm not seeing a really strong correlation between 6 p.m. in Brazil and attacks in the US. If they're doing a fire and forget as far as I can tell. But like they do have strong characteristics of accounts, client SSH software, the originating countries, and open ports and operating systems. So I am able to run Nmap against these guys. I run Nmap from a separate server so I don't contaminate a honeypot. Okay, September 15th, not counting SSH Psycho and friends, 127 botnets. Minimum attack size is 1. Average size is 97. The maximum attack size from all the botnets, not counting China, was only 14,288 login attempts in an attack trial. Attacks coming from China and Hong Kong can be tens of thousands of attempts for an attack trial.
Question.
Yeah, question.
So what's the largest botnet you've seen so far, as far as members?
That's a great question. You want a slide? You want a sticker?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I am! I'm a ninja!
Good shot.
As of September 15th, you asked the question I was just about to talk about. Big botnet. I found 3,139 bots that use the same attack patterns between the different IP addresses. Their minimum size is 1, their average size is 70 attacks, but their maximum, this is backwards. The average size was 3.52, the max size was 7. I didn't fix the slide. 3.52 is their average number of tries per attack. These guys are trying to go in under the radar. So these are the guys that actually get through our IPS. And these are actually the guys that made me want to write this so I could prove that all these IP addresses are part of the same body. There's a group I call Pink Roses. I found them. I get to name them, right? Pink Roses. What hacker wants to be known as the Pink Roses botnet? 379 bots. They only had 16,000 attempts. Minimum size 1, average size. No. Oh, fix this part. Average size is 1171, max size is 73. Fromage froment. Who speaks French?
Cheese.
It means stinky cheese. 64 bots in there up until July. Up until July of this year, all of their attacks came from France. Hence the name stinky cheese. Maximum size of their attacks was 14,000. Question? Did I lose video?
Yes.
Uh-oh. This is not good. The fox jumped his back in the way. I did find one rogue botnet in China that was not associated at all with SSH Psycho. They were trying accounts other than weird. They came, and then they disappeared. They only had 45 bots at my Honeypots. And here's a boring naming standard I'm using. When I find a new honeypot, I don't decide to give them a fancy name. It's the year, month, date, botnet, dash, the number of the botnets found in that particular run question.
Do you have access to any threat intelligence feeds where once you've identified a botnet, you can sort of cross-check and see if it's in the feed?
That's not automatic at this point. I do compare the IP addresses against blacklists. Public blacklists are good, but they're not complete. I'll get to that. Finding command and control, this is where I think I'm going to go back to the live website. Yeah, back to the live website. Okay, let me show you some of the botnet stuff. Please note it says beta. It's been in beta a while. It's stable, it works. There are some corner cases I'm still working on. Big botnet, lifetimes in big botnet, 237 days. This guy did 16 attack patterns. He's going slow and slow under the radar. Almost all of these IP addresses have small numbers of attack patterns over a wide range of life. 223 days, 15 attack patterns. They're going under the radar and they're targeted attacks. Number of countries. This is where it's interesting. Everyone's afraid of China. Oh, China's trying to SSH in. India, Bahrain, and Brazil. I have no idea who's really behind these guys, but that's where the IP address is from. Find software and level. libSSH 2143. That's what their tool says they're using. We come down here to Pink Roses, and their client software is libSSH 01. Come down here to China, it's one outlier and pipe. This pipe. Big botnet. Most people try root as their most targeted. These guys are going after admin. Manager, field operator, mail. That being in capitals is something HP used to do. So why they're so interested in old HP equipment, I don't know. Question?
Have you noticed that they change patterns based on vulnerabilities coming out? So, in some of my honeypots, I've observed that they seem static. Something go crazy when some solo routers declare you well, use this proper line.
I have not looked into that. So the question is, am I correlated against new vulnerabilities? Like router X has always got this default backdoor account and password. No, I have to correlate. Okay. Command and control. I can't verify command and control yet, but what I can do is find, since I'm online, since Google knows about me, since I have pages that say account and password, people are going out to Google, scraping through password accounts, and then downloading those web pages. These are IP addresses that have never done a real get against my website for index.shtml, any of my pictures, anything that would return a normal response, a non-403 page, basically. These are somehow connected to CNC. Otherwise, why would they be just trying to download a web page that says accounts and passwords? China, France, why France? Somebody got a cheap server in the cloud in France and used it to grab pages. One thing that I do have clearly labeled, get to it, is a web page that says today's root password. It's been grabbed multiple times. All it is a password that I have that I change every day. They're grabbing this. Someday I will see this password, my password logs, and I will be able to go, gotcha. This IP address was the only one to download this page, and now I'm seeing it from this IP address. There was a question vaguely about blacklists. Okay, size of blacklist, number of matches. This is the blacklist from list blacklist.de, 10,000 entries. 16% were in that blacklist. OpenBlacklist.org, 56% were in their blacklist. Going to their all IP addresses, it went up to 59%. Blacklists are great, but they're not catching everybody, they're not reporting everybody.
Are you reporting yours to the blacklist?
Not yet.
On the radar? Is it on the radar?
Yeah, it's on the radar, it's automatically reporting. One thing I'm thinking about is once a week, sending an email to the abuse address or that IP address just to say, hi, you're attacking us, we notice. Not that I expect to get any response back, but that way the legal department of Marist can say, well, we told them they were attacking us. There's actually so much in this tool. This is really a 4-hour talk, boiled down to 2 hours, boiled down to an hour, boiled down to 45 minutes. The code is stable, it's downloadable, anybody can run it. Any tool I ever found for doing SSH attack analysis, when I saw, oh, they're doing this, I'm kind of OCD, so I put it into my code and I'm doing it also. So it's downloadable, it's open and online, anyone can look at it. If you want the raw data, except for the actual attack patterns, send me an email. Question?
So you have this as your Raspberry Pi image. Are you looking for folks to volunteer to run it and just send you the data?
I am always looking for honeypots.
All right.
I'm looking for real honeypots from, I gotta say, real businesses, not people at home. There's this fine line of distinction. A real business, I can trust their data. Rendition sec, I don't know. Any more questions? Yes.
Have you
considered integrating something like Hydra and using, pumping the username and password in and using that as an indicator compromising your environment?
Since I've never heard of Hydra, I'm going to say no.
Have you considered using something where you're scripting, using what they're using against you and running it against your environment to see if anything's either secure or compromised?
We have a separate tool that we do password file auditing. And we're really paranoid about accounts on our servers. So nothing that they've tried has a live, other than root, has a live account on any of our Linux systems at Marist. And root is blocked by default on everything. But yeah, that would be a great audit question. Any more questions? Yes, Porter.
Do you see much activity like that? Listen to the presentation from the United States.
Question was, the question was, do I see much activity from the United States? Short answer is I see some. I think this is more an indicator of the fact that I've only got 11 or 14 honeypots going at any one point in time, and most of those are either at a couple of cloud providers or educational institutions in the U.S.
We actually see, I don't see, and then full-time walking set of students in universities and states that are playing the scripting against or something.
Yeah, I'm not saying a lot of that. I think that's an indicator just because of the smallest number of honeypots I have. Question?
In terms of the IPs you have sort of attacks from, what is sort of the average lifetime of like the first attack to the last one? Is it like a year? Like how long do you stay alive?
Lifetime. I have a slide for that. I have a web page for that. Let's see how long it takes to load. Yeah, I'm paying attention to the lifetimes. Here, it shows up here. Here it is. The oldest IP address has been going for 245 days. If we scroll down to the middle, the median is 0. I see them, they come, they go. But there's a large number, let's get up here. So this is probably 15-20% where they've been alive for 15 or more days, attacking honeypots I control. You want a second? I was afraid of my ninja very still. Next question, yes.
Have you considered adding flow analysis to it for people who can't quite run signatures in the email? Is there a way to ID flow analysis?
Wait, flow analysis?
Yeah, have you considered a way to ID with flow analysis?
No. But now you just put that idea into my head, and thank you very much.
It would be interesting for some places that run traffic that you can't scale to that size, so we'll certainly have a lot of flow.
Yeah, it would be an yet another interesting project to tap onto this. Some guy I talked to last night, D. McCarthy, is he here? He's not here. Who told me that now that I have attack patterns from the botnets, I can now, he suggested tailoring honeypots to be vulnerable to this botnet and this botnet only, so that I can say, here's a honeypot, I know big botnets is going to succeed on him, so let them in to trace back, they log in, they exit, they come in from another IP address to capture that secondary address that they do the actual infiltration. Is that the word, infiltration? Everyone's nodding. What IP address do they actually do the infiltration from? I hate him, he just gave me more work to do. Yes, question.
In terms of how you do the actual attack, you mentioned that you take the file with all the data and then you file it. Have you ever considered looking into doing more of a, not as much of a, like, they have to sort of match the exact same way for it to be the same botnet rather than doing like statistical analysis? How similar are the attack patterns rather than just one-to-one mapping?
Question is basically a statistical analysis between the attack patterns instead of the MD5 checksum. It's the exact attack pattern. I looked into doing something like that. I'm actually doing, let me get to my home page. I'm doing that for associates of SSH, what I call associates of SSH Psycho. That can be really compute intensive. Other than this group of doing that, I can't do it. I've got lots of CPU, but I can't burn that much CPU. Marist was nice enough to give me a really nice web presence for CPUs, almost 500 gigabytes of disk space. Web access, web IP address to the world. To do any more statistical analysis than what I'm doing right now is a little over the top for me right now. I mean, I would love to do it. I've got a teacher who's looking into it. But since he hasn't gotten back to me recently, I'm wondering how difficult or easy it is.
Should be pretty easy.
Should be, but it can be really intensive. Next question.
I would suggest taking pairs. So password 1, password 2 as a hash, password 2, password 3 as a hash, and then look for how many repeats you have within ones that don't otherwise match. And that would show you 95 or 97%. So what that would be an indicator of was where you have a big botnet and they made a change in their script. And then you would say it's a completely different botnet, and in actuality, you could show that it's almost universal when they insert something in.
Oh, okay. That might be doable.
Right. We'll talk about that.
More questions? Come on, I want to ninja play a BlackRidge sticker at somebody. Going? Yes.
In terms of this distance, from that, I think the concern would be, especially if they parallelize the actual attacks, but you have out of order, like timing differences in terms of like password 1 coming first and then password 2 coming second, or the other way around, depending on how threads sort of line up.
That's why I sort my attack patterns.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it is 11:54. It's lunch. Any more questions? Come on, hang me here. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.